Top of the morning. Welcome everyone to our breakfast club call. It is Thursday. What day is it today? March 16th, 2023. My name is Pamela Pacheco, and I have the absolute honor, pleasure, and privilege, as always, of being your host today. If you are joining us for the first time, welcome. If you are joining us again, welcome home. To each and every single one of you guys. We could not do this without you guys. So we started off this morning with a John Maxwell audio talking about our habits, talking about we are what we repeatedly become, we are what we repeatedly do. Last week, yes, Lisa says she loves John Maxwell. He shares so much wisdom in his audios. Absolutely. He is one of the greatest of our times. I absolutely am so grateful for his leadership, for his business acumen, for the way that he not only communicates, but the way that he leads. It's very, very inspiring and very noteworthy to say the least. But last week, if you were on the call, and if you were not, look up the recording. It is on our Chosen Global YouTube page. But last week we spoke about getting in the game. And if you were on that call, type a 1 in the chat. And if you have applied some of those things that you heard on that call, type a 1 in the chat for me. Type a 1 in the chat. I want to see who I'm talking to, who is actually paying attention. Yes. Thank you, Max. I really appreciate your accountability always. Thank you. So today we're going to talk about 3 keys to reframing our habits. 3 keys to reframing our habits. We're going to talk about reframing our habits, and we're going to talk about some steps to speak to some mountains. And I know that you're probably looking and you're like, okay, one of them is one thing and the other is the other, but they both go hand in hand. And the reason being is because there's a lot of times that we want to get back into the game, or we want to do things and we kind of stumble, and we not so much stumble because we're not capable. We're not so much stumbling or, having difficulty because we don't have what it takes. No, we have what it takes. We are capable. We are able, in fact, to live out our wildest dreams and do those things that are on our heart and do those things that we know that need to be done. Yes. But if we're being transparent, if we're being honest, like we usually are on our calls, sometimes what stops us is us. Sometimes what stops us is our habits. And they say that it takes 21 days to form a habit. If you have started some habits, we do 21-day transformation challenges. A lot of you guys join us on those, where we talk about implementing different habits that are not only going to take care of our fortune, which is our business, but that are going to take care of our faith, that are going to help us in our family, that are going to help us along our fitness journey, that, yes, are going to contribute to better habits in our fortune, that are going to be better habits in our fun, in every aspect of our life. But sometimes there are things that we just have to do to change those habits, because it's not enough to say, okay, it's 21 days. Has anybody ever had any difficulty and you're starting a habit and you're like probably the 5th day in and you are feeling great, and then all of a sudden you just stop? All of a sudden you don't find the strength to do it. Has that happened to anybody? Am I talking to myself? That you thought you were like doing great in this habit, and then all of a sudden Murphy's Law, Uncle Murph kicks in. Uncle Murph, right? What can go wrong will go wrong on the wrong day, on the wrong time, when we least expect it, all of that great stuff. However, I do believe that, like anything else, if we are prepared, because you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? If you are prepared, if you are setting your intentions, if you are putting on your armor, if you know better, you would do better. Right. But I also think it's about tricking ourselves into doing what needs to be done. Right. So what does that look like? 3 keys really quick to reframing our habits. Number 1, it's proclaiming. So what does that mean? So there's so much power in our tongue. There is so much power in what we say. There's so much power in the words that are coming out of our mouth. And when you think of the definition of proclaim, it means to announce officially or publicly, to declare something that one considers important with due emphasis, right? Tell me what is something that you proclaim over your life. Tell me what is something that you announce officially. I'll tell you something that reminded me on our Tuesday call when I heard Maximo Lora, and that's on our call this morning. Shout out to Max. He is one of the sharpest, one of the most humble yet powerful leaders that we have. And I'm so grateful to get to do life with him. But he said something. He was like, when was the last time you went and told your team that, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to hit this next level by the next event. He proclaimed that. He made an official announcement. He declared something that was important with due emphasis. Tell me what is something that you proclaim over your business right now. Tell me something that you proclaim over your fitness. Tell me something that you proclaim over your family. Tell me that what is something that you're proclaiming over your mindset. Tell me what is something that you are proclaiming over your life. Because when we think of steps to reframing our habits, yes, I proclaim 50-50 this month. I love that, Max. Me too, right? The miracle is in your mouth. What are you saying? What are you proclaiming? What are you speaking over every aspect of our life? What exactly does that look like? So yes, somebody said I proclaim 50-50. Make sure you are sending it to all panelists and attendees. So what does that proclamation look like for you? And maybe you have to take time to think about what that looks like. Maybe you want to take time to say, hey, you know what? I need to write it out. I need to reestablish what that vision looks like. Because if you were being honest, right? We spoke about getting back into the game and a lot of things of what that takes. And a lot of that was your mindset, right? The beginning of it was your mindset, was reestablishing what your mind, where your mind is, but also talking about that vision, that compelling vision for your future, that compelling vision for your life, because that vision, it's what's going to pull you when motivation can no longer push you. So what is it that you're speaking over your life? What is it that you are declaring over your fitness, over your business, over your family? What does that look like? Lisa said, I proclaim reading 8 books this year and having over 100 customers. Yes, and I stand in agreement with you on that, right? And it's okay. I love Delisa's transparency, because she's like, you know what? I'm thinking about that right now. Like, what is it that I am publicly declaring? What is it that I am proclaiming? What is it that I am announcing? Because there's power in your tongue, and it's okay that you may not have that right now, but you have an idea of what it is that it looks like. And maybe if we're being really, really honest, right? There's some things that you're proclaiming right now that you have to forgive yourself, because you knew that you could have proclaimed it over your life in a season prior. But I'm going to set you free right now and forgive yourself for not speaking over your life the things that you knew are possible, for not speaking over your future, for not speaking over your goals, for not proclaiming over every aspect of your life what you know you deserve, for not speaking over every aspect of your life what you know is capable, what you're capable of, what you know you desire, what you know God promised you, right? So forgive yourself from that, but say, hey, you know what? Today's going to be a brand new day. I want you to type it in the chat. Brand new day. It's a brand new day, brand new opportunity. It's a brand new moment. It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day. But a lot of times we're so stuck on yesterday that we're depressed. And I've heard this. That's like, you think about the past brings you depression. You think about the future brings you anxiety. But if you stay in the present, it is a present. It is a present. And it's not saying that we're not being mindful of ways to improve, but it's saying, hey, you know what? Cool, I got it. Not going to do that again. All right, cool. I'm going to forgive myself. I'm going to be able to move forward. I'm going to start declaring some things that I want to shift. I'm going to start I'm going to declare some things over my business that I want to see. I'm going to declare some things over my mindset that I want to see. I'm going to declare some things over every aspect of my life that I want to see improve, because I know that there's more. I know that there's more in store for me. I know that there's more in store for you. And if you believe that there is more in store, I've put on there, there's more. Right? A lot of you are like, brand new day. It's a brand new day. It is a brand new moment. It is a brand new opportunity to seize an opportunity within the lifetime of the opportunity. But again, for us to start getting back in the game, for us to start living out the life of our dreams, for us to say, hey, you know what? I know exactly where it is that I want to go. I know exactly what it is that I want to do. I know exactly what it is that I want to, who it is that I want to be. Again, the miracle is in our mouth. What are you proclaiming over your faith? What are you proclaiming over your fitness, over your family, over your fortune, over your fun, right? I'll tell you something that I'm proclaiming. I'm going to Thailand in September. I'm definitely proclaiming that in my fun, right? In my fitness, I'm proclaiming that I am the most punctual and excited person when it comes to working out. I got 6 a.m. workouts, and I'm going to tell you, sometimes your girl struggles, okay? Sometimes I stay up to like 12, 1 o'clock, and it's not good. I'm getting back into, sleeping 7, 8 hours, right? If you text me past 9 o'clock now, I might not answer. My phone is going on do not disturb, because I'm being very intentional of doing so. And so again, I'm proclaiming that over my fun. Something that I am proclaiming over my fitness is, like I said, the punctuality, the master, something that I am proclaiming over my emotions. I am a master at my emotions. I am a master at my emotions, right? I am a master at prospecting. Successful people seek me, right? I am a magnet to leaders. I am a magnet to fun. I am a magnet to super connectors, to influential people. Everything I touch prospers. What are you proclaiming over your life in the season? What are you proclaiming over your business? Because it's not only what you're proclaiming over your business. No, it's what you're proclaiming over you. It's what you're proclaiming over the things each and every single day. Yes, absolutely. Master your emotions, master your thoughts, you master your life, because everything goes hand in hand. So hopefully you guys are getting some value. Melanie said Punta Cana for 2 in August. Yes, proclaim that. I am on the agent destination trip. Absolutely. Here's another something that I'm proclaiming over my business. Everyone I share Seacret with gets it the first time. They get in and they build massive teams without me. And we walk stage Crown Royale, right? What are you proclaiming over your life? What are you proclaiming over your business? What are you declaring? What are those things that you know for a fact that are in your heart? And it's just a matter of you saying them, you proclaiming them, you making a public announcement, you declaring of what that looks like. So moving right along. Yes, Crystal. I love it. I am Crown Royale. Yes. Agent destination trip with flights. Yes, Tiffany, I'm here for it. Let's go, guys. This is so good. Number 2, to reframing our habits. Grow slow. We spoke about a few weeks ago, galvanizing gradual gains, right? Because we overestimate what can happen in a year, and we underestimate what can happen in a day. And a lot of times it's just more so about winning the day. We want to win the year, and I'm all for it, but win the day, because when you win the day, you win the week. And when you win the week, you can win the month. And when you win the month, you win the year, but win the day. And it starts by you setting your pace. See, when you're proclaiming all of these things over your life, when you're proclaiming all of these things over your business, it does not mean that it's going to happen overnight, right? It does not mean that it's going to happen overnight. However, growing slow, it's basically saying you don't start strong, you become strong. And it made me think of, I remember when we were going over this with my pastor in our leadership course, I was like, man, that can be applied to so many areas of our life. If we're just being honest, you don't start strong, you become strong. Can you think of anything that you didn't start strong, but you became strong? Yes, Verda, that you took exactly where I was going with it, right? Micro goals. But it also made me think of in my fitness. Like there was no way I was benching or squatting the amount of weight that I'm doing now. No way. 2 years ago? No. But I've been on this journey with a personal trainer almost 2 years, right? You don't start strong, you become strong. I'll give you guys another example. It's about to be 2 years that I've been in therapy, right? And again, you don't start strong, you become strong. There have been moments in my life that I look at it and I'm just like, man, if that would have been Pam from a year ago, woo, child. If that would have been me from 6 months ago, if that would have been me from 2 years, like, wow, I've just become in awe because you really do develop. You really do strengthen these muscles. You really do strengthen, just like you strengthen the host, right? Dr. Cohn talks about strengthening the host, right? I just took some of my meds this morning, of my supplements this morning. But you strengthen the host, guess what? We strengthen every aspect of our life. Because when we're talking about changing our habits, yes, we want these great things and we know we deserve them, right? We know we deserve them, so we expect them because expectation is that breeding ground for miracles. But understand that you don't start strong, you become strong. So there's going to be things, there's going to be little nuisance, there's going to be incidents that you never expected, but that doesn't mean that you weren't prepared along the way just because you didn't expect it. Because a lot of times what God is doing in one season is strengthening you for the next. And in the moment of that season, you may think that, man, this is just strengthening me for right now. This is just something that is, helping me get through this season. But little did you know that the season to come is really what he's preparing you for. It's really what he's doing something in you. But understanding that you don't start strong, you become strong. When you start making these calls, guys, we don't expect you to pick up the phone and sound like Maximo Lora or sound like Melanie Levitz or sound like Jesse or sound like Muzaffar or sound like Pamela. Guess what? We sucked a long time. If I'm being real, I probably sucked longer than a lot of the people that I just mentioned, but I just got better because I kept doing it over and over and over and over again. And you don't start strong, you become strong, and you continue to grow in your strength. You continue to grow in everything. And yes, if we're being transparent, yes, and I love that, Melanie, sometimes we still do, right? Sometimes I still do. Sometimes there's things that I'm like, oh, I don't know how to approach this. Hold on. Let me regroup for a second. Let me like go back and think of what's the best way to go about this, or what's the best way to go about this prospect, right? And I'll reach up, because when you need help, reach up to your upline, reach up to your sponsor, reach up to your leadership. Now, if you are desperate, right, and you're like, and it's not something so much fun, you don't talk down, meaning you don't go talk about it to your downline. You don't go talk about it to your teammates, because energy is contagious. And when you're talking about, being that leader, and leaders are those that are able to bring certainty to an environment that there isn't any. You always want to keep your environment positive. You always want to keep it fun, right? We don't need any of that. So when you are having any difficulties or any obstacles and you're like, man, I need to be strengthened in this spot and I don't really know, reach up to your upline. But remember that it's your pace. What you're proclaiming, but set your pace. And don't let your pace set you. A lot of times we want to accomplish things and we're like, okay, well, and I'll tell you guys, I just had this happen yesterday to me. I had a lot of things to do, and in between, I'm like, okay, well, I need to squeeze in a meal, and I have to do I need to get these 20 messages out. And I broke it down to where I was doing like 776 really, but I broke it down and I was just like, okay. And I had to reframe my mindset, but I also had to reset the pace. Why? Because I was going faster than my body was wanting me to go. Why? Because I hadn't eaten anything and I had to take a moment. I was like, okay, cool. I don't have time to make a meal right now in between these calls, but I'm going to go ahead and make a quick shake. So I went ahead and made a quick shake with our vanilla protein and greens, my favorite, right? And I added my fruits to it. But sometimes you have to set your pace, and sometimes you have to regroup again when you are on your pace. Because again, remember, you don't start strong, you become strong. Number 3, perspective. Perspective. The future will be more demanding than the past. Perspective. The future will be more demanding than the past. And if you're thinking about that, why is that? Well, if you are having high expectations, if you have big goals, if you have big dreams, I want you to type in the chat, that's me. I have big dreams. I have big goals. That's me. That's me. Type it in the chat. Let me see who I'm talking to. Yes, Michelle. Yes, Tiffany. Yes, Maximo. Yes, Verda. That's me. Yes, Melanie. Yes, Katie Ann. Yes, Denise. Yes, that's me. So what does that mean? Yes, Lisa. Me too. Yes, Kathy. I love that. So if the future will be more demanding than the past, then that means that it's going to require a different version of us. That means that this next level, we can't take into this next level who we were. We can't take into this next season things that have been holding us back. So take some inventory on what you want your future you to look like, the best version of you to look like, because there are just some things and some habits, we're being honest, that just don't serve us, that are not conducive to the success that we want to have, that are not conducive to where it is that we're going. So if we know that the future will be more demanding than the past, it's saying, hey, you know what? I'm ready. Let me have this perspective. And yes, the future will be more demanding than the past, because that vision that you have for your life, that vision that you have for your business, that vision that you have for your family, that vision that you have for your fitness, that vision that you have for your fun, it's more compelling. It's bigger than the obstacles, because the opportunities are always bigger. And when you know that the future will be more demanding than the past, you also understand that it's like, hey, you know what? This too shall pass. And what I went through only made me stronger, right? I'm going to continue to proclaim greatness over every aspect of my life. I'm going to set the pace, but I'm going to have a brighter perspective, because I know better is ahead. I know that these things that I am proclaiming are going to come true, because I set the pace and I'm doing the things day in and day out that are going to get me there. And that not only are going to get me there, that are going to get our team there, that is going to get our company there. Because truth be told, this is our company. This is not just your business. No, this is our company, right? We're working on some things. A lot of our leadership is doing a lot of things hands-on. I'll tell you, we were on a call last night, I think until a very long time, right? Over an hour. Maximo knows exactly what I'm talking about. But this is our company. So when there is an issue, when there is a problem, what perspective are you taking on? Are you taking on the position of a CEO, of an owner, or are you taking on the perspective of an employee? Because again, if we know that the future will be more demanding of the past, we are CEOs, we are chief executive officers, because yes, we are co-creating this. This is ours. So what perspective do you choose to take on? Because that is what's going to allow you to start creating better habits, to start reframing those habits that you're currently doing, those habits that it is that you want to form, because you realize that, man, that's going to help me. That's going to help me go here. That's going to take me there. This is exactly what I needed. This is exactly where I'm going. And I know exactly the way that it's going to be. Whatever you nurture will grow. Whatever you nurture, you'll grow. So if you ask yourself, you know what, who am I becoming? Who am I becoming? And do I like this person that I'm becoming? Am I proud of this person that I'm becoming? And if you're not, again, we're going to talk about what we just said. Give yourself permission to set yourself free, because habits form whether we like it or not. And they can be good or they can be bad. But whatever you repeat, you reinforce. We are what we repeatedly do. We become what we repeatedly do. So rather than becoming something on accident or someone that you didn't really necessarily care to be, why not become who you're called to be on purpose? We can't help but to grow. But if we're really being truthful, we can't help but to stumble sometimes too, because it's in our human nature. But it is human nature, yet the growth that we're having can curve, can slope, can the growth curve can slope upward, or it can slump us downward, depending on how we cultivate those many areas of our lives. So if we want to go on an upward spiral instead of a downward spiral, because that's really a slope upward or a slope downward, that's really what it means. It's like, okay, so how can we cultivate in those areas of our lives that are going to allow us to get there, that are going to allow us to do the things that we know that need to be done? Because when we are making progress towards our purpose, it definitely will be accompanied by the reward of more challenges. You could bet your bottom dollar on that. The more progress you make towards your purpose is definitely going to be accompanied by the reward of more challenges. But you are equipped to handle those challenges. You are equipped to overcome those obstacles. And if you ever feel that you're not, you can always reach up, because this idea, it should fortify us. It should make us stronger, because we're only pushing against elements that are allowing us to gain strength. And it's not, it's God's not into speed. He's into seed. And I heard this the other day, and shout out to Pastor Rich. I heard this, I was like, God's not into speed, he's into seed. And it's like, man, that's what we're doing all day. We're showing deal, we're planting seeds. We're prospecting, we're planting seeds. We're making calls to customers, we're planting seeds. We're educating people on the opportunity, we're planting seeds. We're sharing our products, we're planting seeds. We are getting people registered for events, we're planting seeds. And by the way, if you're not registered, secretdirectevents.com. Make sure you're getting to a regional near you, April 15th. April 15th, get to a regional near you. It is going to be an absolute ball of a time. We have such a great lineup for us. Tampa is going to be a vibe. Everybody in Florida, everybody is coming. We got people flying in from everywhere. It's such an honor to be among such great leaders. And I tell you, we're going to make it an absolute amazing experience. It's going to be a training escape that entire weekend. We have Muzaffar and Trish coming. It is going to be crazy. New Jersey has Josh Valentine and Kelvin Phipps. It is going to be amazing. New York City and the East Coast is going to be on fire. I know Jade Boland the following week is going to be in Calgary in Canada. I know that Dana James, give me 1 second and I'm going to go over this really quick for you guys. But I know that in Chicago, we're going to have Jeff Bulf and Michelle Taylor. In Phoenix, Arizona, we're going to have the one and only Jesse Mack and Roscoe Taylor. In Wichita, Kansas, we're going to have Raymond and Janie Baran, two of the most amazing individuals. San Antonio, Texas, we're going to have Angie Cuff and Franco Villarreal. North Carolina, we're going to have Troy Brown and Dana James. ATL, we're going to have Eric Grisbowski, get paid. And Mr. JAON, my brother, I know is going to kill it. And again, in Calgary, we're going to have Tracy Zimmer and Carrie Schneider. It is going to be an absolute ball. So if you have not registered, make sure you're registered, secretdirectevents.com. And get some more people registered. If you are registered already, awesome. Get some more people there. Because we build this from event to event. And remember, God's not into speed, he is into seed. And yes, we have an amazing lineup of incredible leaders. We were going to talk about something else, but I think that that's enough for today. I think that this was a really good call. Let me know if you guys are good. I think this is really, really good, actually. But again, keys to reframing your habits: proclaim. What are you announcing? What are you speaking over your life? What are you speaking over your family? What are you speaking over your faith? What are you speaking over your fitness? What are you speaking over your fortune? What are you speaking over your fun? The pace: grow slow. You don't just start strong. You become strong in everything. Perspective: what perspective are you giving yourself? What perspective of your future? What perspective is allowing you to keep growing, to keep going? And always remember, you're going to nurture. Whatever you nurture, you will grow. And God is not into speed, he is into seeds. So continue to plant those seeds in every aspect of our lives. Continue to invest in yourself. Shout out to each and every single one of you guys that are joining us from all over to being on this call. I greatly appreciate. I read each and every single one of your comments. As always, it is truly an honor, pleasure, and privilege to serve you guys. Great day and God bless. SeacretDirectEvents.com is where you can register, and you guys will see the recording in the next 24 to 48 hours. Breakfast has been served. Great day and God bless. Thank you guys so much. Thank you guys. I appreciate you, Mel. Appreciate